Look at this, the Punisher. You know what the Punisher does? He punishes. And I remember seeing it for the first time. It surprised me because back then the superheroes were supposed to be good. And they never killed. They had the code. Even Batman, which was a dark superhero from DC Comics, he never killed. But the Punisher didn't care. In fact, the whole purpose of the Punisher was to kill. So the person who created it, look at this, Mike Baron. Mike Baron was very courageous at the time. He created something that went against the culture, right? Because the superhero is good. He always defeats the villain. Here we have something different. And so Mike Baron decides to rekindle the same concept by going against the culture, creating something interesting, and he made Private American. And Private American, from my understanding, is a person which patrols the American border in order to take out drug dealers, human traffickers, and other nefarious individuals. Now, the government doesn't appreciate what Private American does, but he films his acts and then distributes it to the public so that the government can't do anything against him. I think this is what the plot is about. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment section, but this is my understanding. Now, according to Mike Baron, Private American does not target migrants seeking a better life. He saves them. No, he just targets the river of fentanyl and the terrorists that are trying to enter the good old US of A. Now, of course, we live in a society. And if we live in a society, you are not allowed to target the terrorists that want to enter the USA, even in a fictional environment, or to try to stop the river of fentanyl that is coming in. Because of that, Mike Baron got in a little bit of a pickle. He points out how the story isn't shocking, and I agree with him. If you try to do this story in Romania, no one would even bat an eye. But we do live in that society, and 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago, this would not have been controversial. But today, where the left has infiltrated most institutions, it was like waving a red flag in front of a bull. Out of nowhere, the Daily Kos attacked and accused Mike Baron of stochastic terrorism. Do you understand how terrorism is done today? You draw a comic book. And you may find yourself in Guantanamo Bay next to other terrorists who blow stuff up. But like, what did you do? Well, I blew stuff up. What did you do? I drew a comic book. Oh my God, the madman. Look at this. The Daily Kos. News you can do something about. You know how the leftists call this? A call to action. Call to action. Punisher creator Mike Baron releases another racist AF comic book. I mean, look. The superhero cannot go against the rivers of fentanyl. That is racist. Actually, it's racist AF. This content is not subjected to review by the Daily Kos staff prior to the publication. It is afraid. So according to Mike Baron, the person who wrote this article has her own comic funding on Kickstarter. And she called for her sock puppets to write Kickstarter and get mine booted. He continued. She succeeded. Every word in the article is a lie. You can read about it on The Bleeding Fool. Despite the setback, it wasn't an end. Baron and his team were able to keep the crowdfunding on Indiegogo. And crowdfunder, I've been a writer my whole life. I mean, this is emotional. Listen to this. All right? Listen to this. I've been a writer my whole life. Job one is to entertain. Private America grabs you by the throat on the first panel and never lets go. No lectures or bumper stickers. I only wish to be left alone to create entertaining stories. Yeah, but we live in the age of progress. We live into the age of enlightenment. The Democrats are running the show. What do you mean being left alone? We have the environmental crisis. We have social justice. We have all these other important issues that require your collaboration, comrade. Left alone. What do you figure? You want to grill? You don't get to grill. No one gets to grill. Grill releases CO2 in the area. You do not get to be left alone or grill. However, Mike Baron has decided that he really wants to grill, and he's going to sue the Daily Kos. However, in calling me a terrorist and a racist and deliberately misrepresenting my work, the Daily Kos has left me no choice. My previous graphic novel, Thin Blue Line, was about two police trying to survive a night of rioting. See, this is why you don't get movies about recent events. Because then you get the Daily Kos up your ass. The Daily Kos described it as about a gangs of white police officers. Oh, see what they did there? Now police officers make gangs. Gang of white police officers going into black communities to kill black people. The two protagonists don't kill anyone in the book. The person who wrote this has never read it. We contacted the Daily Kos and asked if they would like to see the book. They reluctantly agreed. Can you imagine, though? It's like trying to push heretical literature on the Catholic Church. You're trying to push them the Book of Satan. It's like they're not going to touch it. My publisher made it available to them as PDF. That was over a month ago. As of today, they have not looked at it. Look at this. Look how beautiful. Folks, help me fight the Borg. I will help you fight the Borg, Mike Baron. I will be there. Let us fight the Borg together. I tell heterodox stories, Baron said in conclusion. There is an enormous appetite for them. As woke, or blue heronism, as I like to call it, has infected most establishment projects. My next project is a supernatural western, Bronze Star. After that, it's Florida Man, graphic novel 2. Its only purpose is to make you laugh. So, I do agree with the idea. Initially, it was get politics out of comic books, which is still something that I support. I would rather read a comic book that doesn't have any sort of political messages. But I would say that if you make a right-wing comic book, so an anti-woke comic book, you might actually make more money with it. Why? Because people are super saturated with woke messages. They're fucking everywhere. It's what also moved me a little bit away from religion. I went to an evangelical school. And every time I would go there, Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And I was like, okay, I get it. I understand. Naruhodo intensifies, but like, can we talk about something else? And it's the same with wokeness, right? Like, if you talk about something that's anti-woke, it's so fresh, so original. Like, how many works of literature do you know that are anti-woke? Like, maybe a couple that came out this year. Maybe some anti-woke comic books or some anti-woke video games. There aren't, right? So, when you do something like that, it's incredibly popular, and because it's popular, you get the Daily Kos up your ass. Because they understand the danger. It's like, holy shit, if we allow this thing that's anti-woke to be popular, what's next? So they want to crack it down. This is why they're going after Baron. So let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.